What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about some new leaks of Insomniac. We talked about the at least beginning part of this yesterday with some not great stuff, right? The personal stuff you definitely don't want to see, and I still very, very much hope, number one, that they can solve this entire issue, right? And also that nobody's going to get hurt by this stuff. But, and I've said, maybe controversially, like I like rumors, I like leaks. I mean, you look around my channel, I cover them quite often, and I don't think they're the worst things in the world. Some people definitely have problems with them, and that's okay. But that part, I wouldn't do it this way. I wouldn't hack them. I wouldn't breach their databases and whatnot to get this stuff. This is the wrong way of leaking things, but in terms of the personal information from the employees, you very, very much hope that nothing happens there and that it all gets resolved. And I'll probably continue to update it. They gave them 7 days to, make that kind of payment. So we'll see what happens there, and I'll continue to cover it. But we do have a pretty interesting leak on the multiplayer game. At least that is what is rumored to be the multiplayer game. Technically, it doesn't have to be, right? But there's been info found by doing all this stuff that these people have done. Spider-Man 3, that's in the works, and then also a Spider-Verse game, and that is being speculated quite heavily to be the multiplayer game. Look, I've long said that I'm fine with this Marvel push from Insomniac, but generally, I would like them to remain, some independence of, I hope they're choosing. I guess that's like the long-winded way of saying it. I really hope they're the ones picking and saying, hey, we want to do this or we want to do that, and also saying, we don't want to do Ratchet and Clank. We don't want to do Resistance and Sunset Overdrive, and we don't want to make any new IPs. And I word it kind of aggressively in that way because, again, honestly, that's what I want. I want them to be able to decide for themselves, and I worry that they continue to, do these Marvel games, even though they're quite good at them, right? They're actually extremely good at them, and I think a Spider-Verse multiplayer game would actually rock. Now, I feel like they're capable of making all sorts of different multiplayer stuff, and I was hoping that the multiplayer game wouldn't be a Marvel game, but I had actually assumed always that it was. You can go back 2+ years ago, whenever the first rumor, I think Special Nick was the one who talked about it, I said in that video, and I covered the rumor when it first happened, it's gonna be a Marvel game. I didn't necessarily want that, but it was gonna happen, because I just think Insomniac is generally a Marvel, studio in terms of, making Marvel products. So again, let me say, without getting too, negative here, or too many people, calling for my head, I think they can absolutely crush a multiplayer Spider-Man, or in this case, Spider-Verse game. You make your own Spider-Man, you pick which multiverse, and you battle together. The idea of kind of co-op in that sense. Look, they've already started to build that with Spider-Man 2, and they've even put the seeds of a Spider-Verse in Spider-Man 2. So I think the foundation has already been laid. I think even if you use a large amount of the, how you play, the combat, all of those kind of mechanics, you have a lot of that already, right? And then to kind of transfer that over into a multiplayer game. So I want to say that in terms of being, positive, Alex, me being positive here would say, I think they're going to do a good job. I think they could do other stuff. I've long said over and over and over, I would do unspeakable things to get Resistance back. I absolutely freaking love that series, and they crushed it with that. They had multiplayer with those games as well. So it's not like they've never done multiplayer or anything. They clearly are good at it. I think they're capable. I kind of just wish they would flex their wings. So, why am I making this video? I would say for those two different reasons. Number one, news video, in the sense that it very much looks like the Spider-Verse game is going to be the multiplayer thing. And then, just to throw out a personal opinion of, look, I'm down for it. And I want to make that known. Look, I'm going to cover it. I'll be playing it, all that stuff. You know that, right? I've done that quite a bit for Spider-Man 2. We covered Spider-Man 2 a ton on the channel. I have a feeling I'm very much going to like their multiplayer game. And I think, actually, if there's any of Sony's studios, whether they're even first or not first party, that are making, if this game is a live service game or if it's not, I actually would trust Insomniac more than most of them, to be flat out. And I will say it's mainly because of the Resistance background, mixed with a lot of the heavy lifting has already kind of been done by them. They've already, done that for Spider-Man 1 and 2, so you're just kind of using some of that stuff and obviously creating new stuff for a Spider-Verse game. I think I would have more faith in this than like the Last of Us multiplayer, even though I'm actually still hoping that that thing happens, and I think it could be very good. But like any of these live servicey like Concord or anything like that, I think, you know, a Spider-Verse multiplayer game would beat like 90% of the other games that they haven't announced yet, but they eventually are going to. So I have hope, but I would like to see them kind of step out of that Marvel, you know, bubble that they're in. So long as, again, being very, very clear on this, so long as it's what they want. If they want to make a Spider-Verse game, you know, you let them. And I think you let Insomniac do whatever they want. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.